This is a sink full of 6.5 pounds of chanterelle mushrooms. So I got these yesterday while out hunting. Didn't get any game animals while hunting, but I certainly got these. So I'm more of a gatherer than I am a hunter. What I'm gonna do now is I'm filling up the sink. I'm gonna rinse these, cut off the ends, get all the dirt off them. Then I'm actually gonna pressure can them, because I can't eat all these. I could share some, but it's still a heck of a lot of mushrooms here, and probably more to come this year. So these are great. I can them, then I can have them pretty much anytime throughout the coming year. So I'll just quickly show you how I do that. So there's gonna be nothing spectacular that we're doing here. Just giving these a rinse. I'm just gonna get a plate and the cutting board, and we're gonna start getting these clean. Just rinse them off like this. Also lets you know which bits need to get cut off if they're too soft. But this is all right. This'll do just fine. Now this bit here, we're just gonna trim the end off. There's nothing really too wrong with it. It's just like so. We'll find the edge here. And then it gives you that nice white core that you're used to in a chanterelle mushroom. So what we're also gonna do is we're gonna chop this into pieces. So this one into quarters, into big chunks like this. And look at that fleshy meat that it's got. And that's, make sure we get any pieces of dirt off. And that's probably perfect to put in for canning. And maybe chopperoonie there. So there we go. Chop off that end. Then we're left with the whole mushroom here. Get a nice stem. We'll cut that in bits. And then this one I'm going to quarter again, just like the other one. That'll be perfect. So the good thing about having soaked these in the sink is it will allow any bugs and mites to come out of the mushrooms. And these ones, not too many, I don't think. It was a good day out there picking, and probably the right time to pick these. So I'm just gonna go through and process the rest of these up. This is a good batch. And the good news is there are many more that were sprouting up when I was there this weekend. So hopefully next weekend, if I hit the same area, I get another number of pounds of these. These are tasty. So normally you'd want to eat these fresh if you can, and I'm going to save a few to eat fresh with tonight's dinner. And like I said, the rest I'm going to can them, and they're still pretty delicious when they're canned. And I'll show you that process of what I do to can them to make them last for a long time. Get in there and really give them a good scrub. Don't be afraid. These are not gills. They're little, I don't know what the technical term is, but I always say they're ridges. They're pretty firm. And you can give them a good scrub in there. That's not going to harm them. It's not going to break them. And I'll be just cutting off the tip here. And look at that. What a beautiful mushroom. It's just incredible, the bounty that nature provides us. So let's chop that. There is a bit of brown inside there. Let's cut that out. We can be fussy. Make sure that we're clean. Sometimes with these bigger ones, you need to cut it even into more than quarters. So there's one plate. We'll keep going. Thing with chanterelle mushrooms is they have this white flesh on the inside. That is one of the identifying features of the chanterelle. You always want it to be white inside that core. And it's pretty sturdy, this flesh. I've got 7 pint jars here, 500 milliliter jars. I'm gonna put in a 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt into each one, the heaping. And then we're gonna stuff our mushrooms in here. Any bits of dirt that we see, take out. We'll top these off with water, put the lids on, put them through the pressure canning process. Ta-da! Let's get some lids on those. So before we get the lids on there, I'm going to clean off the rim with a little vinegar. And the reason we do this is we don't want any of the grease from our hands or anything like that getting on the top here, so that it can make a proper seal. So more vinegar, just go around just like that. Make sure there's nothing on there. There shouldn't be anything on there. Now we want to put the snap rings on, finger tight. You don't have to reef on them. I do a good, snug. It's snug. Now let's get these in the canner. So I've got 8 1-pint containers in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and start this up and continue processing the other mushrooms. So once it starts steaming and ready to get going, and we put on the top the little rocker, once that starts going, we want to pressure can it for 45 minutes for these mushrooms. And while we wait for that to pressure can those, we're going to finish off the rest of these. We're going to process the rest of these. It's going to take some time, get those ready to be canned. So I think it'll all work out. So here's the canned mushrooms, and apparently I should have stuffed them harder in there. I just loosely packed them, and I should have crammed them down in there. We'll see after it cools off whether these expand more. If not, I'll know for next time to cram them in there. It's been a while since I've canned these mushrooms that I forgot, I guess, to cram them in there. We'll let them do their thing to cool down. Look at them, still boiling inside. So that was 45 minutes for these 500 ml or pint jars. So I want to say, if you read up on canning, it'll say don't can wild mushrooms. And I think the reason they have that is concern that in case you pick the wrong type of mushroom and poison yourself. I'm very confident these are chanterelle mushrooms, and I've done these before. They're fine. But that's for me. For you, you have to decide whether you're going to do the route of canning or whether you want to follow the recommended process, which can be to cook them and then freeze them. So we'll wait. That's 8. And then I have another 8 just waiting for the canner to start. And then part of the leftovers of all the processing, nice little saucer full, a little plate full of fresh chanterelle mushrooms that I'm going to fry up tonight to go with dinner. So this is going to be delicious. So here we go. This is the results of all the canning today. So 16 jars. Unfortunately, this one did not seal, and you can tell the mushrooms are all on the bottom, whereas these ones that did seal, there's a big space on the bottom. So I definitely need to I definitely need to pack them fuller, but that's okay, because I'll be using these regularly in my meals. And they're canning jars, reusable. So I'm just gonna date the rest of these ones and then I'm gonna put them away in the cupboard. So there we go, my time out hunting was fruitful. It was well worth it, and we got some mushrooms for some excellent meals ahead. All right, thanks for coming along, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Why didn't this one seal? Definitely got to pack them fuller.